If your app requires an internet connection to work, it is really useful for users to know whether or not they have connection issues. Using the NWPathMonitor, you can easily monitor and react to network changes and present a proper alert showing that there is no connection. In this tutorial, I will show you how to create a small, reusable network monitor component. Let's get started. We start with an empty Hello World Swift project. Let's create the network monitor observable object that will hold the NWPathMonitor, which will tell us when a user is offline. We also need to import network framework, and then we can create the NWPathMonitor instance. It is an observer that we can use to monitor and react to the network changes. We will also need a variable that will tell the view when the connection is down. Don't forget to mark it as published, so it will publish every time the value will change. I decided not to use the new observation framework here, as it's only available in the iOS 17. And I want this code to also work in the iOS 16. But feel free to use the new observation here. You can find a video about it on my YouTube channel. Inside the init, we need to handle the path update handler. This closure will be called each time the network conditions change. Let's add additional function to set the network connections variable. Because this function will be called by the closure from a background thread, we need to set the variable on the main queue, as it will be used by the view. We can use a task with the main actor for this. Also, we can add an animation block. Now we need to call this function from a path update handler. In order to tell if the network connection is fine, we need to check the path status. It is an enum. When it's equal to satisfied, it means that the network operates as expected. Don't forget to start the network monitor. It can run on the global queue. Alright, now we have the network monitor. Let's create the observed object and pass it to the main view using the environment object. If you don't remember or you are new to the SwiftUI, this way the network monitor will be available using the environment object wrapper. Of course, you have to remember that if you forget to pass the environment object before you use it, the app will crash. Now we will use the network monitor with just a simple text view, and then we will create a proper notification with a view modifier that will make it more reusable. Okay, it works as expected. Now let's create a more useful component that you can use in your app. How I like to approach this kind of task is to start with a simple view itself and then just add additional mechanics to it. It will be just an image from SF symbols with additional no connection text. And it will be floating on top of the other views. So for now, let's just remove the whole VStack and replace it with a ZStack. We need a ZStack here because the view needs to be on top of other regular views. Then we need to add image and text next to each other. So let's wrap it with HStack. For the image, we choose network.slash from SF symbols. Just remember that it is available only from iOS 17. It doesn't mean that you can't use it though. For older iOS, just export the file and add it to the asset catalog. In order to use it from SF symbols, just use system name network.slash. Then let's add the text, no connection. Now it's time to style it. Let's add the background to the HStack. The text is unreadable, let's make it white. Same with the image. We can add additional padding here, and the view will look a little better with rounded corners. To add them, we can use clip shape with rounded rectangle. And now it looks much better. Right now the view is in the center of the screen. We would like to move it to the top left corner. To do this, we can extend the Z-stack to the whole screen. By default, the Z-stack is as big as what's inside it. So by making it bigger to fill the whole screen and using the alignment attribute, we can move our view to the top left corner. Set the frame's max width and max height to the infinity. And alignment should be the top leading. Let's add some padding. The view is almost ready for use. We just need to handle the animation. By default, if we animate it, it will just appear and disappear. What I'm looking for is the slide from left side and back when it disappears. It is really simple. Just add the transition, move edge leading. Now add the network monitor condition. Let's run it and test how it works. Alright, it works as expected. Now we can convert it to a view modifier to make it more reusable. Okay, let's create a basic empty offline alert view modifier where we will start by wrapping the view content with a Z-stack. Now we can just copy the environment object and the if statement. We also need to create a view extension with our view modifier. Now each time we will add offline alert modifier to a view, it will be wrapped by our network monitor. Let's use it in the content view. To add offline alert view, just use offline alert modifier on the V-stack. There is the hello world text, and when I disable Wi-Fi, there is the no connection alert. Alright, there you have it, a simple way of implementing a network monitor in iOS. If you run into any issues, you can leave a comment below and I will help you out. That's all what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing for more videos like this. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.